Everyone on the premium synthetic shelf at an auto parts store is competing with Mobil 1. Pennzoil is competing on base stock marketing, running the gas to liquid story as its differentiation. Valvoline is competing on price and boundary layer chemistry, loading molybdenum at 3 times the concentration, to compensate for what its base stock cannot deliver architecturally. Castrol is competing on titanium friction modifier chemistry and fleet contract relationships. All of these brands are fighting for position in the category Mobil 1 defines. They are playing Mobil 1's game: mass retail distribution, full American Petroleum Institute certification, original equipment manufacturer endorsement relationships, shelf placement at Walmart and AutoZone. Pennzoil is not playing that game. It never was. And that is the specific reason Pennzoil is the only competitor that genuinely threatens what Mobil 1 is. The threat is not commercial. If you care about protecting your vehicle with real facts, hit that subscribe button right now. Pennzoil does not compete for shelf space at a big box retailer because Pennzoil is not on that shelf. The distribution model is direct-to-consumer and independent dealer network, bypassing the retail channel. The threat is technical. In the community of engineers and fleet managers who read product data sheets, Pennzoil's signature series is the benchmark that Mobil 1 has to defend itself against. The base stock architecture is where the technical gap opens first. Mobil 1 uses a blend of Group 3 hydrocracked petroleum synthetic and polyalpha olefin. Group 3 base oil is highly refined petroleum, cleaner than mineral oil, but still bounded by the refinery process. Pennzoil's signature series is built on a base stock with no Group 3 component. The foundation is polyalpha olefin. The Group 5 component is an ester, producing a molecule with high thermal stability and affinity for metal surfaces. The ester component improves film strength under boundary lubrication conditions and holds a persistently absorbed molecular layer on metal surfaces, even when the engine is not running. Together, polyalpha olefin and ester give the signature series a base stock that does not require the viscosity index improver polymer loading that a Group 3 and polyalpha olefin blend needs to achieve the same multi-grade behavior across a wide temperature range. Fewer viscosity index improver polymers in the formula means fewer polymer chains available to fracture under mechanical shear, which is the starting point for understanding everything else the signature series datasheet claims. The ester component carries a cold start performance advantage that the polyalpha olefin base alone does not fully deliver. Ester molecules are polar. They carry an asymmetric charge distribution that attracts them to metal surfaces and holds a persistent absorbed film on cylinder walls, camshaft lobes, and bearing surfaces even during periods when the engine is not running. When a cold engine starts after an overnight soak, the polyalpha olefin fraction of the base oil needs several seconds to fully circulate and establish a pressurized hydrodynamic film at every bearing and contact surface. During those seconds, the ester film already present on the metal surface is the primary barrier against dry metal contact. A Group 3 base oil does not carry a comparable ester boundary layer because it has no ester component. Cold start protection in a Group 3 dominant formula depends entirely on the speed of oil pump prime and film establishment, without an absorbed molecular layer as an interim protective mechanism. In northern climates, in vehicles that sit overnight in sub-freezing temperatures, where cold start events represent the highest wear intensity, that ester boundary film is not a theoretical advantage. It is the protection that exists in the seconds before the pump builds pressure. NOEIC volatility is the test that quantifies how much of an oil evaporates at sustained high temperature. The number matters most in modern gasoline direct injection engines, where intake valves are not washed by fuel vapor the way port-injected engines are, and where oil vapor that passes through the positive crankcase ventilation system deposits directly on the intake valve surfaces. Carbon buildup on gasoline direct injection intake valves is one of the most common and most expensive maintenance issues in modern engine design, and the evaporation rate of the oil in the crankcase is a direct contributor to the severity of that buildup over time. Mobil 1's consumer lineup returns a NOEIC volatility in the range of 10 to 13% in high testing. Pennzoil's signature series returns 6 to 8.5%. The polyalpha olefin and ester-based stock, with its uniform molecular weight distribution and absence of the lighter hydrocarbon fractions that evaporate first in a petroleum-derived base oil, produces a fundamentally lower evaporation floor. That lower floor also reduces the risk of oil vapor, contributing to low-speed pre-ignition events and turbocharged direct injection engines, where hydrocarbon oil vapor in the intake charge can initiate pre-ignition ahead of the spark event and produce cylinder pressure spikes. The practical consequence of that evaporation gap accumulates in a gasoline direct injection engine in a way that is expensive and slow enough to be invisible until it is not. In a port injection system, fuel is sprayed across the back face of the intake valve on every intake event, and the solvent properties of raw fuel continuously wash carbon deposits off the valve surface before they can build to a thickness that restricts airflow. In a gasoline direct injection system, fuel bypasses the intake valve entirely, entering the cylinder downstream of the valve seat. The back face of the intake valve is exposed only to crankcase blow-by gases, which carry oil vapor from the positive crankcase ventilation system, and to exhaust gas recirculation flow, which carries combustion soot. Both streams deposit carbon on the valve surface. Without the fuel wash to remove it, the carbon accumulates with every engine cycle, building a layer that thickens over tens of thousands of miles into a restriction that limits intake airflow, disrupts the fuel-air mixture, and eventually causes misfires, rough idle, and measurable power loss. Intake valve cleaning on a gasoline direct injection engine typically requires either a walnut blasting service or chemical cleaning through the intake port, and neither is an inexpensive procedure. The service interval at which symptoms become noticeable varies with oil quality and driving pattern. An oil returning 10 to 13% NOAC evaporation is sending more oil vapor through the positive crankcase ventilation system and depositing more carbon precursor on those valve surfaces per engine cycle than an oil returning 6 to 8.5%. Over 50,000 miles, that difference in deposition rate produces a measurably different intake valve surface. Choosing the lower NOAC oil is not a guarantee the valves stay clean. It is a reduction in the rate at which they get dirty. Mechanical shear resistance is where the base stock architecture difference shows up in the most operationally concrete way. The Kurt-Orban shear stability test measures how much a finished oil loses in viscosity when subjected to repeated high shear cycling, simulating the mechanical stress and oil experiences in a running engine over an extended drain interval. Mobil 1 is formulated to meet International Lubricant Standardization and Approval Committee fuel economy standards, which allow and in some cases require a controlled degree of viscosity shear to achieve fuel economy credits on the test cycle. A slightly lower viscosity in service reduces internal fluid friction and improves measured fuel economy. The mechanical shear behavior is a design decision, not a deficiency, but it has consequences at the end of a long drain interval. Pennzoil Signature Series demonstrates up to 46% better viscosity retention under the Kurt-Orban test conditions. A poly-alpha olefin and ester base stock built without the viscosity index improver polymer loading required in a Group 3 blend has less polymer chain mass available to fracture under shear, and the result is a used oil that comes back closer to its fresh viscosity. In a high-boost turbocharged engine, in a vehicle towing at maximum payload on a summer highway, in any operating condition where the oil is being worked at its limits, that viscosity retention margin is the difference between the film holding and not. If you're someone who cares about protecting your vehicle with real facts instead of marketing hype, hit that subscribe button right now. The total base number comparison is the data point Pennzoil uses most aggressively in its head-to-head positioning, and the data supports the claim. Pennzoil Signature Series carries a starting total base number approximately 28% higher than Mobil 1's standard consumer formula. Total base number is the acid neutralizing reserve in the oil, the alkaline chemistry that reacts with sulfuric, sulfurous, and nitric acid compounds. It holds them in neutral salt solution rather than allowing them to attack bearing surfaces and corrode ferrous engine components. A higher starting reserve combined with the slow additive depletion rate of a formula that does not need its detergent chemistry to compensate for base stock limitations is what supports Pennzoil Signature Series rated drain interval of 25,000 miles or 1 year, whichever arrives first. Mobil 1 Extended Performance. Mobil 1's own extended drain product is rated to 20,000 miles. The gap between those two rated intervals reflects the gap in the base stock chemistry and the total base number reserve that makes those intervals achievable. The economics of extended drain make a counterintuitive argument for a product that costs significantly more per quart at the point of purchase. The comparison that matters is not per quart, it is per mile of engine protection delivered. A vehicle with a 6-quart oil capacity running. Pennzoil Signature Series at a 25,000-mile drain interval uses 6 quarts of oil for the full period. A vehicle running Mobil 1 Extended. Performance at a 10,000-mile standard interval uses 6 quarts for the first 10,000 and another 6 for the next 10,000, consuming 18 quarts over the same 25,000 miles that the Pennzoil Signature Series covered with only 6 quarts. The per-mile cost of the more expensive product is lower when the drain interval is fully realized. The same arithmetic applies to labor cost, oil filter cost, the time the vehicle spends off the road, and the environmental cost. The barrier to realizing those economics is behavioral. Most consumers do not change oil at 25,000-mile intervals, regardless of product specifications. The habit of frequent oil changes formed during the era of conventional petroleum oil and persisted long after the chemistry stopped requiring it. An Pennzoil Preferred Customer membership addresses this by building a direct relationship that includes drain interval guidance and used oil analysis programs. Product education helps a consumer trust an interval that feels long by convention, even when the data confirms the oil has capacity remaining. A consumer who runs an annual used oil analysis has primary data confirming whether the drain interval is within the oil's protective window. That is not a service Mobil 1's seasonal rebate at AutoZone is designed to provide. The American Petroleum Institute certification question is where Pennzoil makes a competitive decision that every other premium synthetic brand refuses to make. The API standards limit the concentration of zinc dialkyldiethiophosphate anti-wear chemistry, specifically capping phosphorus content to protect catalytic converters. This protects sensors from chemical degradation that high concentrations accelerate over time, highlighting the balance between engine protection and emissions hardware. Every brand that carries the American Petroleum Institute service category mark on its label has agreed to operate within those additive concentration limits, regardless of what higher concentrations might do for engine wear protection. Pennzoil's Signature Series does not carry the American Petroleum Institute service category mark. The Signature Series is not American Petroleum Institute licensed. Pennzoil made that decision deliberately, and the reason is additive freedom. Without the certification constraint, the formula can carry zinc, dialkyldiethiophosphate concentrations, and other anti-wear chemistries at levels above what PI licensing permits. The trade-off is warranty compliance risk for the consumer. Using a non-certified oil in a vehicle under factory warranty can create complications if an engine warranty claim arises, and the manufacturer disputes whether the oil met the required specification. Pennzoil reserves a PI certification for its OE and XL product lines, which are built for factory drain interval use by consumers who need the certification mark for warranty protection. The Signature Series is built for the consumer who has decided their engine protection matters more than the certification checkbox, who typically keeps records of their oil analysis reports and change intervals precisely because they have made a non-standard formulation choice. The business model difference between Pennzoil and Mobil 1 is not incidental to the product difference. It explains it. Mobil 1 is manufactured at scale by ExxonMobil, one of the largest energy companies in the world, with production economics and corporate capital that allow it to secure factory fill status in performance vehicles from Chevrolet, Porsche, and Mercedes-AMG. That factory fill relationship is worth more in consumer trust than any data sheet because the buyer who drives a Corvette out of the dealership and sees Mobil 1 printed on the oil cap is receiving an implicit endorsement from the vehicle's manufacturer. The cost of securing those original equipment manufacturer relationships is substantial, and it is a cost Pennzoil does not pay. If you're someone who cares about protecting your vehicle with real facts instead of marketing hype, hit that subscribe button right now. Pennzoil funnels its capital back into base stock quality rather than automaker contracts, which is why the Signature Series formula uses polyalpha olefin and ester rather than a Group 3 and polyalpha olefin blend. The product costs more to produce. It also does not sit on a Walmart shelf next to a mail-in rebate offer because Pennzoil does not distribute through that channel at all. The independent dealer network is where Pennzoil's distribution model becomes a competitive moat rather than simply a distribution limitation. An Pennzoil dealer is not a retail shelf. A dealer is a trained advocate who has a financial interest in explaining why the premium is justified and who has personal credibility with the buyer because the relationship is direct. When a consumer buys Pennzoil through a dealer, the conversation includes a discussion of polyalpha olefin and ester-based stock chemistry, the NOACK evaporation rate comparison, the Kurt Orban shear stability data, and what the total base number reserve means. That is not the conversation that happens when a consumer picks a bottle off a Walmart shelf, because it is on sale and they recognize the logo. The dealer conversation creates a buyer who understands what they purchased, which creates a buyer who is likely to return because they have a reference frame. Preferred customer memberships extend that relationship further. A consumer who has invested in an annual membership has a financial incentive to concentrate their oil purchases. The result is a customer base with higher brand loyalty than mass retail, because the customer understands the product, rather than simply recognizing the label. Mobil One's rebate program builds purchase frequency through temporary price incentive. AMSOIL's dealer network builds purchase loyalty through product understanding. Mobil One's authority-driven marketing relies on original equipment relationships and Formula One and NASCAR sponsorship presence to build consumer trust through association. The logic is that a brand endorsed by Porsche and visible on Formula One machinery is trusted without needing to understand the chemistry behind it. AMSOIL's proof-driven marketing publishes ASTM lab results and invites the reader to evaluate the data, NOAC volatility numbers, and Kurt Orban shear test results. All of it is public because AMSOIL's strategy requires the technical buyer to reach their own conclusion from primary data rather than from brand association. These are not two versions of the same marketing approach. They are two different theories of how consumer trust is built, designed for different consumers. Mobil One funds Formula One and NASCAR because those platforms deliver maximum mass-market brand visibility to the broadest possible consumer audience. AMSOIL funds off-road truck racing and snowcross because those platforms put oil under sustained extreme stress in public view and let performance do the selling. A snowcross engine runs at high RPM in deep cold for extended periods without warm-up cycles that stabilize viscosity and distribute anti-wear chemistry. An off-road truck engine takes shock loads, temperature spikes, and contamination events that a Formula One oil is never asked to survive. AMSOIL's choice of venues is a product demonstration strategy. The grassroots character aligns with the direct-to-consumer dealer network distribution model. The wear metal accumulation picture over extended intervals is where AMSOIL's architecture becomes visible and the argument shifts to actual engine outcome. Used oil analysis reports from engines running AMSOIL's signature series at 25,000-mile intervals consistently return wear metal readings that reflect the combined effect of lower NOAC volatility, reducing oil vapor contamination in the crankcase, higher shear stability maintaining film thickness across the full drain duration, and the ester component's adsorbed boundary layer reducing cold start metal contact. The performance comparison AMSOIL publishes and that Mobil One's technical team has to engage with in enthusiast communities and owner forums is not a per-interval wear metal comparison at equal mileages. It is a comparison at the respective rated drain intervals for each product. An oil that runs 25,000 miles and returns acceptable iron, copper, and aluminum readings has demonstrated something that an oil rated to 10,000 miles has not. The question AMSOIL's extended drain wear metal data forces into the technical conversation is not whether Mobil One's oil protects the engine at 10,000 miles. It is whether Mobil One's oil protects the engine at 25,000 miles. The answer is not in Mobil One's product data sheets. Because Mobil One Extended Performance's rated interval is 20,000 miles, not 25,000. That 5,000-mile gap in the rated interval is the specific territory AMSOIL occupies. And it is the territory that cannot be answered by an authority-driven marketing strategy. It can only be answered by the data. Mobil One has more market share, more OEM endorsements, and more shelf space in more stores in more countries than AMSOIL will reach. None of that is what makes AMSOIL the real competition. What makes AMSOIL the real competition is that it is the only brand asking Mobil One to justify its Group 3 blend. The only brand whose NOAC volatility number forces Mobil One's NOAC number to become a relevant question in enthusiast forums. The only brand whose Kurt Orban shear stability result makes Mobil One's fuel economy shear design a formulation decision that needs defending. In the mass market, AMSOIL is a niche product. In the conversation that engineers and enthusiasts are having, AMSOIL is the standard Mobil One is measured against. Winning the conversation the technical buyer is having is not the same as winning the market, but it is the only competition that makes a market leader actually improve.